Good evening, everybody. I am just about awake at 10 o'clock at night, even after watching Arsenal versus Crystal Palace, which was a yawn fest. To be fair, most of Game Week 18 has been a bit boring. Man United, 1 goal. Man City, 1 goal. Spurs, 1 goal. Arsenal, 0 goals against a team that conceded 3 while Aston Villa were down to 10 men. Frustrating, but it's actually been a pretty good week for me. Got through the wildcard problems, or not problems, but got through the wildcard. Now we move on to Game Week 19. That's obviously what we're going to be doing tonight, is looking ahead to Game Week 19. Bench boost questions, I'm sure there'll be a lot. Triple captain questions, I'm sure there's going to be a lot. Let me know how you did in the chat. There's a lot of happy Mitchell owners. I would have had Mitchell if I had a wildcard, but I'd also be like 21 points less, I think. 21 points is not huge, but I'm pretty well set up for this week, so I'm kind of happy. Mitchell doesn't go up on the wall because he wasn't in my team. Mitchell has to be in my team. So it ain't happening. Palace looked alright in defence. Yeah, they made it difficult for Arsenal to break them down. By the way, Saka's delivery is very, very good. It's so close a couple of times to a holding goal. Well, not really that close, but you got on the end of it at least. Holding goal, Saka assist would have been immense. The only annoying thing is that right at the end, Holding was on for 2 bonus and then he lost it. Leno and Holding both kind of dropped and Mitchell and Bellerin got it. So Mitchell's going to get 2 bonus. Guaita's going to get 3. And he's got a save point, so he's getting 10. Trusted Arsenal. I mean, I don't want to say I told you so, but it was just West Brom. They only scored 1 against Brighton. Fair play, the Chelsea result was good, but outside of that, we haven't really seen too much from Arsenal. I think my free hit team would have scored like 2 more points than my wildcard team, so much of a muchness. I would have had Reguilon in a free hit team, he was good. Anyway, let's get the team up. Oh, that is not the right thing at all. Okay. Now we have the right team up, and I've still got the wrong bloody thing. Yeah, there we go. So that is the team. Full house. Full house at the back. Happy with that. In some ways, obviously, I would have rather had the... the bonus points from Holding. But it's kind of nice having 6 from every single player. Full house of 6s for all those 5 defenders. So 2 Man City, 2 Man United, and 1 Arsenal. Pretty happy with that. It was decent. De Bruyne, I mean, could have been more. Do we need to rant about the penalty? Like, what the hell happened with that penalty? Like, why was Sterling on the penalty? De Bruyne, I know you're tired, mate, but that's 16 points you've killed us with. Like, if De Bruyne had done that, that would have been huge this week. But I still finished on. I'm on 59, so I'm kind of happy with it. Not the end of the world. Not the end of the world by far. And my rank's gone up to inside the top 25k. So it's gone from 41k to 25k. So I think I've got to be pretty happy with it. The real test of my wildcard, for example, is going to be in a few weeks' time. Like if I come through Game Week 19 with a decent enough score, happy days. But in the next few weeks when I'm not able to manage things so well because I haven't got a wild card, then we'll see. That's the true test, I guess. But right now, I'm happy with the green arrow from Game Week 18. 4 points in the back line, 51 points with 10 players. Very good, yeah. What I would say as well about the free hit is, don't... I'll get some of those super chats in a sec. Don't, like... What you're going to see now is people that did really well without a free hit saying, well, you shouldn't have used the free hit. But every team is different. Every team is different. We're not using the Stream Deck. The Stream Deck is still in a box, not even been opened. The new mic I got, still in a box, not been opened. One day in the next kind of 1 to 4 months, I will get it done. I will get it done. Yeah. No, I'm not being harsh. It was a good score. It was a good score. Yeah, I'm not trying to say it wasn't. But I think that I'm 21 points up on my normal team, but realistically, it's the rest of the next few weeks that really tell if it was a good move. So we'll see. 62 from anyone that got like 55 plus this week has probably done all right. Has probably got like a good green arrow. Yanks, thanks very much. Nihao, Son, Saka, Kane to Salah, Souček, Vardy for -8. I don't know about getting... I don't know about Vardy, to be honest. I get maybe you need that to fund the Son Salah move. If you don't... I mean, the thing with Vardy is he should be fine, but is he going to play both those games? What if he needs to play 90 in the first game? Would he definitely play the second one? It's the only thing that worries me about him. Holden and Firmino out for Diaz or Cancelo and Antonio. Holding and Firmino out for Diaz or Cancelo. Cancelo, I think, if you've got another City defender. And Antonio, Holding and Watkins out. Does this question make... these questions I find really hard to process. We need like just A, B questions. They're so much easier to think about. Holding and Firmino out for Diaz or Cancelo. Right, Cancelo. And then Antonio or Holding and Watkins out. I don't get that. What's Holding and Firmino got to do with just one defender? And then Antonio... Okay, sorry. Holding and Firmino out for Diaz, Cancelo and Antonio, right. Or Holding and Watkins out for Diaz or Cancelo and Antonio. Right, so basically the question is Cancelo or Antonio... Cancelo or Diaz versus Antonio... Sorry, Jesus, it's not even that, is it? Holding and Firmino. Oh, and Watkins. Right. So basically, the question is Diaz or Cancelo, and then Firmino out or Watkins out. That's the actual question. So Cancelo, if you've got stones. If not, I'd maybe go Diaz just for a bit of safety, but I do like Cancelo. And then I'd probably take Watkins out ahead of Firmino, just about. Because you don't know what the situation is with Arsenal, with Aston Villa. Thoughts on already having Triple City United? It's good. They've got good fixtures. Lacazette, Wilson, Son, Antonio, Watkins, Salah. Yeah, lots of people looking to take -8s. Like Lacazette, Wilson, Son, you're taking out 2 single game weekers. Like, I don't know about Watkins in for a minus. I'd maybe just bring in Antonio and Salah and keep one of Wilson and Lacazette. I wouldn't. I'd be careful about taking too many hits for Aston Villa players, to be honest. Start 2 of Rodrigo, Saka, Bamford and Dyer. Bamford for sure, and one of the other 2. Maybe Saka if you want to spread a bit of risk, but I'd probably go Rodrigo. Just don't like the fact he keeps coming off a bit earlier. Thoughts on De Bruyne triple captain? I'm down with it. What's DG? Thoughts on De Bruyne triple captain with DG? I don't know what DG means. With DG? I don't know. But yeah, I would probably triple captain De Bruyne if I wasn't bench boosting this week. Salah to De Bruyne and Kyle Walker-Peters to Stones from -4. Salah out from -4. I'm not sure about that. If I didn't have De Bruyne, I'd maybe just captain Salah. Salah Antonio in for Martial and Son from -4. Salah and Antonio in for Martial and Son. Yeah, I probably would do that. I don't like the idea of taking out a double game weeker though. Antonio and Pulisic or Bowen and Werner. Antonio and Pulisic by a mile. McCarthy and Calvert-Lewin to Martinez. McCarthy and Calvert-Lewin to Martinez and Antonio -4. I mean, the thing is, we don't know if McCarthy or Martinez is going to play, so it's a bit risky. Calvert-Lewin to Antonio, yes. The other one, I would wait on some more press conference news and see if you can get some kind of indication about who's going to start. Longer term, I prefer Martinez for sure. DCL to Antonio seems like a no-brainer to me. It's either Vardy, Antonio for Kane. I mean, really, the answer should be Vardy. The fixtures are better afterwards as well. It's like, will Antonio stay fit? I just don't know about Vardy in those 2 games so close. Vardy for Kane from -8. Nah. I mean, it's a -4, isn't it? So it's Kane to Vardy for a -4. I don't know if I would do that. I think Kane versus Sheffield United is decent enough. Oh, you mean double game week when you say DG? You're okay. Yeah, I like De Bruyne the triple captain this week. Yeah. I think Crystal Palace and Villa's quite good fixtures. I will say Crystal Palace defended quite well, but Arsenal have not been as good attacking-wise as Liverpool or Villa this year, so take with that what you will. Obviously, Mitchell is back, and Villa have been good, but they've just not been training recently, so how fit and raring to go and ready to go will they be? So I still like De Bruyne triple captain this week. You could save it, like there's going to be other triple captains. Just don't overthink it. If you think De Bruyne is getting 15 plus this week, I think triple captain's good. Yeah, DG means double game week, fair enough. But usually, like, DGW would be double game week. That's how I would do it anyway. Bruno to De Bruyne for free. or Trent and Son to Cancelo and De Bruyne -4, have double Liverpool defence. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't really like the idea of taking out Trent and Son, but I think I prefer that way and just keep Bruno. The thing about Bruno is, yes, he could get a yellow card. Yes, he could miss that second game. He could also get a big double-digit haul. So I'd probably rather keep him. Robertson, Basuma, Calvert-Lewin for Antonio, De Bruyne, triple captain, Cancelo, -8. I mean, I don't mind it, to be honest. Okay, usually getting rid of Robertson for -8 is bad, but you're taking out 2 bad players for 3 really... You're taking 2 out of 3 bad players for 3 really good ones. For a -8, should pay off, I'd say. Should pay off. Oh, wait, let me get the chat back over here so I can see it properly. Did I qualify in the cup? Well, put it this way. In fact, can I get my opponent's team up? This is my opponent's team. So they got 15 points. So Wan-Bissaka, David De Gea, and Rob Holding beat their team. So Kane, Son, Fernandes, Patricio, that was it. So yeah, I'm through in the cup, and this is my team for this week. We are bench boosting. Don't know if I'm that happy about bench boosting Saka after what I saw tonight, but his delivery is pretty good from set pieces. Adams to Kilman to Antonio and Shaw -4. Yeah, I quite like it. I mean, Kilman's not got a double. Shaw hopefully will start twice. Obviously, there's no guarantee with Tellers around, but he's definitely first choice. Johnson, Rodrigo, Dallas, Kyle Walker, Peters, bench boost. Yeah, I probably would bench boost that. I think there's going to be lots of bench boost questions. Like, if you've got a bench that's decent, like single game players that are decent, I would probably do it in most cases. Would Firmino be a good choice for Calvert-Lewin? I think he's a decent choice. Yeah, there's not too many cheap forwards to go for this week. Bamford's only got a single game week. Antonio, but we're worried about his hamstrings. Wood, Watkins, is he fit? Hardly. It's tough, really. Holden, Smith Rowe, Bamford, Johnson on bench. Go for bench boost. I probably would, yeah. I don't know who your fourth is, but again, yeah. There's going to be 1,000,001 should I bench boost questions. Like, ultimately, I mean, I did it on the preview earlier. If you've got kind of 4 players that are all going to play this week and got good fixtures, I would do it. The only time when I'd really be unsure about doing it or maybe think about keeping it is if I had what am I trying to say? If I had wildcard, bench boost and free hit left, if I had the wildcard and the free hit, I'd be much more tempted to save the bench boost and try and get a double game week bench boost out in 16. Main reason is, if you get really stuck in 19, you've got the free hit. And if it gets to a situation where you can bench boost and manage game week 29 with a wild card, then perfect, you've got the free hit for a different game week. If you've just used your free hit, I think I would try and bench boost this week if you've got a good bench. I think no one can tell the future. They might get to a position where people that hold their wild card use it in 24-25 and get the perfect 15 double game weekers out. But that's the problem, I think, in FPL. We're always hoping for the perfect scenario, and it very rarely actually happens. Yeah, my bench boost is activated. You can see that on screen. Like, if it wasn't activated, it would look like that. But boom, dark green, it's activated. Bench boost this week. Already bringing in De Bruyne and Anguissa Rodrigo for Gundogan Wilson -8, or Anguissa to Foden -4. Keep Rodrigo or both. If they, the thing is with Man City player, I don't know who's going to start both those games. So Foden could be good. Gundogan could be good. Will either of them start both games? I put more money on Gundogan starting both, to be honest. I know Foden was good finish, scored the most goals for the team this season, but it does not mean he'll start the next 2 games. So a -8 for Gundogan and Wilson. I don't know if Wilson is worth a -4 over Rodrigo, to be honest. I think Leeds could do really well in that Brighton game. Lord Snow, Tierney, Kane, Souček, or Mitchell, Antonio, Salah, -8. Oof. Yeah, 2 single game weekers and a double for a single game week, 2 double -8. If you've already got a captain you're happy with, I'd potentially be tempted just to keep Tierney, Kane, and Souček. Obviously, keep an eye on what is said about Tierney in the press conferences. It does sound like it was just muscle tightness, so that's pretty much what they said. So Tierney should be back. Adam, thank you. Alcapol, Son out for Rashford for a -4. I don't know. Son and Kane out for -4. I'm going to take a -4, but that's because I'm getting Salah. I feel like Salah you just can't go without him, or I definitely don't want to go out without him. Son to Rashford. The only reason that I'd be tempted to do that is because Rashford has got better fixtures afterwards. Like 2 of the next 4 after the double game week 2 of the next 4 for Spurs aren't fantastic. They do have in between Sheffield United, Brighton, West Brom. But then they've got Chelsea and Liverpool as well. So I'd be tempted, but I don't think it's a no-brainer, that's for sure. De Bruyne to Salah and Son to Grealish for a -8. Hell no. De Bruyne out for Salah. I don't. Not for me. Do it if you want, yeah. Would you sell Son to bring the double game week player? I am doing that, but it would depend on who. I'm doing it for Antonio and Salah, Kane and Son out. Could be a big miss. Could be a big mistake, but we'll see. Don't like Arsenal fixtures after the Newcastle game. Fully agree. I have money to do Saka to Grealish. If Grealish plays, if Grealish does well in game week 19 or he looks fit, he'll probably be coming in game week 20. So yeah, I agree. I think this game's fine, but then I'll swap him out. Holding just stays on the bench. I mean, if Holding gets a clean sheet against Newcastle, happy days, really. It's the most I can expect. Another 6-pointer. Robinson to De Bruyne against Salah for -8. There's lots of minus questions for the double. Right? Don't get too pulled in by the double game week. I mean, the only thing I'll say for players like De Bruyne and Cancelo, they're long-term picks. It's not just for the double. They got really good fixtures afterwards. Robertson and Son out though for a -8. I mean, Robertson and Cancelo could score the same amount of points. So Son to De Bruyne for basically -8. I'm not sure about that, to be honest. But if you really want to captain De Bruyne, then go for it. I guess Robertson's the only way to fund it. Nicola, Kane, Bowen and Taylor to De Bruyne, Antonio and Reece James. Reece James only just back in training. Do we think he's going to start both games? That would worry me a little bit, to be honest. But the other moves sound okay. Triple captain Salah. Again, if you think Salah's going to score 15 plus, I would triple captain. Simple as that. I personally don't think Salah is... I don't know. I don't want to sit here and say that Salah's not a great captain because he's got 2 home games and he's a great player. I just think that Man United game is going to be tough for them. And vice versa. The Liverpool game is going to be tough for Man United. Darius, thanks very much. Would Antonio be a good option? Well, yes. Yeah, I think so. Let's see if he can stay fit for both games. If he plays both, he looks good. If you play a wildcard after a -4, do you get the -4 back? Yes. Yes, you do. What was that question? Oh, why has my chat just died? I can't see it. The chat's not working for me. It is on... that's annoying. It is on... It's working on screen, I know, but I've got a different chat that I usually use and I can't see it. Hang on a second. Let me get it back up. It's going to come on. They're going to hear me twice. You don't want to hear me twice. There we go. I saw a question. Oh yeah, you don't listen. De Bruyne was a big rotation risk for the next 2 games. 3 games, 7 days, and after 6 days, another 4 and 8. Was so tired. Yeah, I agree, but he's looked tired for a while. The guy barely gets rested. He could get rested. You're right, but I think Fernandes could get a yellow card, and Salah could blank against Man United. So I don't think. Yeah, okay, there is a chance that De Bruyne gets a rest, and maybe if you're triple captain, that should put you off, but. What did Pep say over Christmas? We can't afford to rest De Bruyne. He did look tired, agreed. Like obviously, Man City would have much preferred to be 2 or 3-0 up and then just take him off. But there's no European matches or anything right now. And he has been rested in Europe, rested in the FA Cup. So he just played. He's got 7. So on Sunday he's got a game, then Wednesday. But then the following game after that's not till Tuesday. And then after that he's got 4 days rest. So I think he'll start on both. The league is too tight to be resting players if you don't have to. Obviously, they don't want him to get injured, but yeah, I don't. I'm not too worried about it. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? Koshik, Son and Kane out for Salah and Antonio -8. Yeah, honestly, when you go to -8 or above, it gets a lot trickier. I'm doing it for a -4. Is it worth another -8? I don't know. I think that Man United game would just put me off a bit with Salah. -8. I think as well, one thing to consider when you're talking about taking -8 stuff, you've got to consider how long you want to go without the players you're taking out. Like, for some people, they're going to want Kane and Son straight back. I don't, because they're playing Liverpool, and I'll do without them for the Brighton game. Then they're playing Chelsea. So I'm probably going to get a Spurs player back, probably not both, in Game Week 23 for West Brom. So you've got to consider that. It's not just about getting these players in for the double. How long do you want the players you're bringing in? I think Antonio, as long as he can stay fit, has got pretty good fixtures. Crystal Palace away, Liverpool at home is tough, of course. Villa away, Fulham away, Sheffield United at home. These are all pretty good fixtures, right, for West Ham. So I'm kind of happy to keep playing Antonio, but like, Spurs taking them out, if you don't want them back straight away, then I don't think it's the worst play. But you got to be absolutely sure that's what you want to do. Like, a lot of people, every time I say that I'm getting rid of Son and Kane, they keep telling me it's a mistake. What if they score? Your rank will go down, etc. But I'm kind of okay for that. I'm kind of okay for that, to be honest. Okay, let me have a look. So much stuff coming in. Kane, Son, Balbuena to Antonio, Salah so far from -8. Kane, Son, Balbuena to Antonio, Salah. I gotta be. These -8s, I don't know. Or add Alioski to Stones Diaz from -12s. It just feels like too much. The only time I would start taking -8s, -12s is if you really want to keep those players for the long term. If you're just bringing them in for Game Week 19, that's it, then fine. But -12s, that's a lot of points. You can claw it back in a double game week, but it's tough. But yeah, all these -8, -12 questions, I mean, on paper they look fine, but I think anytime you're taking out Kane and Son as part of -8s, -12s, you could be punished. I'm okay with taking that punt. Many people will not. If they get a double-digit haul each against Sheffield United, people will be absolutely moaning. But I'm willing to take the risk. Wilson or Bamford out for Antonio. Yeah, tricky one because Wilson's got the double, but I think long-term you definitely want Bamford, and Bamford will have double game week at some point. I'd probably take out Wilson, to be honest. I know taking a double game week out ahead of a single one, but I feel like Bamford saves you a transfer down the line. That's worth another 4 points anyway. Bamford, Antonio, and McCarthy. Darlow. Is that Bamford to Antonio and McCarthy to Darlow? -4. Darlow. Do you want Darlow long term though? I don't know if I fancy that one too much. McCarthy could still play twice, right? Oh no, sorry, he's only going to play once. Yeah, he's only got one game. Only if you want Darlow long term. But do you want a Newcastle goalie long term? Jahangir, Son, Bednarak to De Bruyne, 5.6 max defender. Cresswell, yeah, Cresswell's good. West Ham, I like that. Unless you want to go Man United. George? Am I worried about De Bruyne not playing one of the games? Also, triple captain over the bench boost. I wouldn't get into triple captain over the bench boost. Like, if you've got a good bench boost team, I'd play it because there's going to be other opportunities to triple captain. If I don't know, Salah had West Brom at home and Newcastle at home, who, to be fair, he hasn't just done very well against, but you know what I mean. If you had them at home, then there's an argument to be made that you forgo the bench boost because the triple captain is so good. But for this week, I don't think the fixtures and the players are that good where you would stop the bench boost if you've got a good bench boost team. Rashford and Kane out for Salah and someone else -4. Yeah, I mean, you could do Antonio. A lot of people looking to do that move. I always hate it when people are looking to do the same move, so I always worry it's just going to backfire. City defender as captaincy and the lack of goals in Game Week 18. Doesn't mean Game Week 19 will be the same, though. But I know what you're saying. The thing for me is, it's the same as always. Like, watching a game with a captain, it's bad enough having double defence, let alone having one of them captain. Having to watch that game. As soon as a goal goes in, you're hating life. I would just never do that. My team is Johnston, McCarthy. Yeah. One free transfer, need help. Well, who are you thinking of transferring out? I don't want to suggest transfers to people, really. That's just managing other people's teams, you know. What else we got here? I think this week is just going to be dominated by bench boost. You're going to need to restructure price points. Yeah, absolutely. I'm hoping to roll a transfer maybe in Game Week 20. I might get Grealish though, and then maybe roll in 21. I don't know. I am going to find the next few weeks difficult. If Leeds and Southampton get put in Game Week 23, then I'm going to have to use transfers to that, and then start worrying about the double game week in 26. So it's not going to be completely easy for me, I don't think. But I've always got the free hit for 26 if I need it. If I really need it. All the hype of Arsenal players and how poor they were tonight. Yeah, it can happen though, can't it? I mean, let's be honest. Like, West Brom made them look good. I said they only scored one against Brighton. Yeah, that's why you shouldn't like. Then everyone was suddenly like, Arsenal back. You got it wrong. You're biased. And then they've drawn 0-0 with Palace. Like, you shouldn't completely switch an opinion based on a couple of games, right? You should wait and see how it materialises. And so far, I would still be a bit skeptical about Arsenal attackers for now. I think defensively they've looked okay though. I'm hoping Saka can get something in the next game though. I do think his delivery is very good from set pieces. Robertson, Kane, Son out, Cancelo, De Bruyne, Antonio. Taking out such good players, but I guess I'm doing the same. If that's for a -4, again, I don't mind it. I do think the big pull with Man City players are you can happily hold them afterwards. Sam, Darren Walcott out for Cancelo and Lookman -4. Yeah, that looks pretty good. If you had Reece James, would I keep him? Yeah, I probably would. He's back in training now, isn't he? So I probably would keep him. I just realised we're listening to the same music. I don't even know if you can hear it, but I've been listening to the same music the whole time. -12, Son, Dyer, Adams, 4 keep to De Bruyne, Diaz, Antonio, 4.5. Again, -12s. Like, how many of those players do you want long term? To be fair, I think it looks okay potentially on paper, especially if you're going to captain De Bruyne. But it's a -12. It's hard to swallow, you know. De Bruyne, Tom. De Bruyne's only missed 5 minutes in the league since game week 7. Looked like he needed a rest. Still the captain with the biggest upside, but Salah is less risk. Yeah, look, I'm not going to sit here and say he's definitely not being rested because you just never know, do you? But the guy is a machine. He just always plays. Hopefully he gets asked about that in the press conference. That would be good. Do hit that like button, by the way, if you are enjoying the stream, and hit subscribe if you're new around here. I got an email today about fibre, by the way. I got an email about fibre. It does sound like it's happening. I just don't know when. I wish I knew the date I could go out and buy it. We're not actually lagging that much tonight, though. It's pretty nice for once. Do I think triple captain De Bruyne is worth it? Villa usually solid defensively. Palace not bad. Wait for another double. If you want to wait for another double, go for it. I wouldn't overthink the triple captain though. If you think he's going to get 15 plus, you know, could he get at least 7.5 points in each of those games? That's 1 assist, a few bonus points. You know, 15 plus. It's good to me. I think on another, like maybe if Arsenal had Tierney, they would have been much better tonight. We shouldn't forget that. So. I like him as a pick. If he plays both, I like him. Connor, thanks very much. Luke, thanks. Robertson, Grealish, Stones, De Bruyne from -4. I think that's good long. Well, it's quite a good long-term move, but I do think you'll want Grealish back. So think about that. Bench boost with no playing goalkeeper and 3 single game week players. If the 3 single game week players were really good, then yes, I'd consider that. Just playing with 3. But again, it's going to depend on what chips you got left. Take a hit to replace Tierney with Wan-Bissaka, only if you want Wan-Bissaka long term. Otherwise, I don't think it's worth it. Tierney's got a good fixture. As long as Arteta says he's going to be fit for the next game, I would probably keep him. How much is your Son worth? I only just bought him in. It'll be tough to get him back if you sell him. Yeah, you got to take that into consideration. That's obviously up to you. It depends how tight money is for you. Who is your favourite asset from Chelsea for game 19 only? I mean, if I want to take a punt, I'd go Pulisic, but I think a defender, to be honest. I think I'll get a defender like Ben Chilwell. Ziyech is back, right? That excites me because if I was a Chilwell owner, because a lot of the time before when they were playing, Ziyech was basically cutting in on his left foot from the right and just smashing the ball over, or crossing the ball over, not smashing it, to Chilwell at the back post. So I wish I had Chilwell. If Villa had played in Game Week 18 and none of these COVID issues, I'd have Chilwell on my team. But I just, with the way it worked out and Spurs get in Fulham, I just couldn't fit it all in. But I do like Yeah, I do like Ben Chilwell. How long am I going to keep Salah in? Good question. I don't know. Around game week 23, it gets interesting because there's potential doubles, but also City's fixtures do turn a bit and Spurs get better. So game week 23 is going to be challenging, but I think for now Salah would just stay in. No real plans to get rid. But I think at this point, apart from maybe Fernandes, the De Bruyne, Fernandes, even Son, Kane and Salah, I've not really got much money tied up in them, so I'm okay selling them and buying them back. I think I've done that for most of the season. It has been working out. As long as I've got the best captain for the week, I'm not going to massively worry about the rest. So in game week 23, when I think Spurs are the best captain, I'll probably bring one in, even if I have to get rid of Salah again. But if Leeds have got a double game week in game week 23, that changes things. So I think I would be quite happy captain in Bamford. City defender is seeing a lack of goals. Yeah, I've already answered that one. Fabianski in for a 4-point hit. Maybe if he's fit, and I do think West Ham's fixtures are okay afterwards. He is a great goalkeeper, and they are great fixtures. But let's see if he's fit first. It'd be a tempter. Calvin into Antonio, Roberto Cancelo, Balbuena, Diaz for -8. Again, I don't mind that because you're taking out an injured player, a player that might not even play. And okay, Robertson's not ideal to be taken out for -8, but then you're bringing in 3 potential long-term players. So I quite like that one. Again, with hits, right? As long as it's not just for the double, if you're making long-term moves, and I think City are, well, I say long-term, maybe medium-term, I like it. Adrian, popcorn, thank you. Lewis, is Forster, Ayling, Rodrigo, Konza a good to bench boost? Yeah, I'm not sure about that because Forster might not even play. Konza, one of his games is against Man City, but it is a double. He does play Newcastle in the other. Ayling and Rodrigo, it's okay, but Forster's possibly not going to play. You could still go with 3. I'm not trying to book in too many transfers given so many fixture changes. Yeah, absolutely. I've basically got no transfers booked in. Potentially I want to get Grealish back and I'll have the money, and potentially I'll want a Spurs player back. But if something changes, I'll change with it, right? I don't think we can really afford to plan too far ahead. But it's always worth having a thought, a kind of mini planning ahead, I suppose. Are we going to hear from all the coaches tomorrow at press conferences? I don't know. We'll find out tomorrow, I guess. I think a lot the matches are really spread, so it'll be interesting to see. Is it worth keeping Lindelof for the double? Wait and see what Solskjaer says. But to be honest, who knows what he says is even going to be true, right? I mean, okay, Lindelof could have had a reaction, which was the issue, but yeah, not ideal. And Bailly played well. Like for me, right, and I'm sure most Man United fans right now, they would rather Bailly was playing. Now, Solskjaer did bring Lindelof straight back in when he was fit for Man City, so maybe he thinks Lindelof's still the best partner. But for me, it's Bailly by a distance, just because of his pace, really, and his recovery. So, yeah, wait to see what Solskjaer says, but Lindelof could be one to get rid of. Is it weird no one's looking at Chelsea assets? I just think sometimes in FPL, you get situations that are kind of built to the point where people just can't look at other players. Like, for instance, this week, people have had to deal with a blank. Man United and Man City are ideal because they play in the blank and in the double with double game weeks, and they're not bad fixtures. So that's already potentially 5 to 6 players. And then Spurs also had a good game. They got a good game this week. Chelsea haven't looked great. And I think people have just sold Chelsea defenders for Man City, and you can't really argue with that. So, yeah, I don't think it's weird that no one's looking at it at all. I just think it's the situation that's developed. Like, I look at my team, where the hell would I fit in a Chelsea attacker? I'd love Ben Chilwell, but it's another transfer. I don't really have them. But I will have the money. I mean, I could do Holding to Chilwell. But I think I'd rather hold that money for Grealish. I've not missed Super Chats. I just don't want to do them as soon as they come in every time, because otherwise I just never look at the actual chat. So I'll try and get to them as soon as I can. When I watch a Man United match, you were more interested in your FPL or Man United win. Man United win, of course. You want best of both worlds, right? If you can, but Man United win first. Like, Rashford and Pogba did nothing for me, but it was still a great win. I guess Wan-Bissaka and De Gea did. Holding or Bamford for the 11th single game? Come on, it's got to be Bamford. That's not even a question, is it? I'm not triple captaining because I'm bench boosting. Okay. Best long-term forward to replace Calvert-Lewin 9.7 or less. Probably Bamford right now. Maybe Antonio, if you want to take a bit of a punt on him. Shushavan. Already have Salah and Bruno. Nice. De Bruyne, Antonio for Mane and DCL, or De Bruyne and bench fodder. Dallas in playing 11 in for Son and Calvert-Lewin. So basically, to us, the fact that you've already got Salah, I'd be tempted just to get rid of Mane. Keep Son potentially. -4 for De Bruyne, I think, is a good move because he's got good fixtures afterwards. Dave, top 700, massive. 6 Leeds versus Saint players, ouch. Is that enough to stop a bench boost? I don't think it's enough to stop, but I mean, I think for people that have got like loads of Leeds players on their bench, are probably in a better position than loads of Southampton. So maybe, it depends who they are, I guess. They're probably defenders and they're playing Leicester, so it's not ideal. So like if you've got 3 Southampton players on your bench, I don't know if that's the most ideal bench. So if you've got good amount of chips left, I'd maybe consider holding off. Do I regret playing my wildcard? Not so far, but the thing is we're not going to know for a while whether it was a really bad move. The problem with FPL is people are always too quick to look at a situation that worked for them and say that anyone else that did something different was better. Like at the end of the day, I had no Man City players, and you can say that was bad, but they didn't have a double game week, so I didn't really want them because I thought I was going to free hit them in game week 18 anyway. So I would have had 2 defenders. The things changed with the fixtures, and I didn't have the Man United boys, and obviously Kane and Son got a good fixture in 18 as well. So it all kind of came together at once. Whether or not it'll be a good move, I don't know. But we'll see this week, I guess. If I get a big green arrow and I beat the average by a good bit, or beat people that didn't use the chip this week or whatever, then I'll be happy with it. But it is going to be hard to manage the rest of the season. It's a bit different. This is the thing. If I play safe or whatever all the time, people moan about that. Take a bit of a risk by playing the wildcard with half a season to go, and that's a mistake as well. Like, you can't win. I just play the game how I want to play, and if people don't like it, then whatever, really, you know. That's just the way it is. Antonio Socek, Cancelo in, nice. Calvert-Lewin, Romeo, Dallas out, -8. I quite like it. Dallas, I don't know, it breaks my heart to say sell Dallas, but Cancelo is a good long-term pick. To be fair, you set up well on your wildcard to cover the blank and double. But it was to be fair, it was a bit more than that though, because I got to take out 2 Leeds players, and they've lost a double game week now. And also I hedged my bets on Villa. So if Villa had no double, right, there was a point where we thought they might just have Man City. I also took out Grealish. I also took out Calvert-Lewin, who was injured and is now missing. So it wasn't just setting up for the blank and double and the bench boost. It was also fixing quite a few issues in my team. And who knows when Calvert-Lewin's going to be back. Yes, it might take me a hit now to get Grealish back, but I think overall it's probably been worth it. If I'd free hit, I would have had a couple more points, and I would still have Salah in my team, but I wouldn't have De Bruyne, so I don't think I'd be that much better off, to be honest. Am I sticking to 4-4-2 permanently? Nah. No. Like Saka will. I don't know what I'm going to do in game week 20. I'm probably going to have to upgrade Wood or Saka. Like if Watkins plays or Grealish plays, they're probably coming in game week 20. Originally I wanted to roll in game week 20, but I think with this team it's going to be much harder. But we'll see. We'll see. I think when you've got a good bench, you can be flexible with the formation you play. Like in game week 20, West Ham play, who is it? Crystal Palace away. So I could play Sofal, Wan-Bissaka and Sheffield United, and Stones and Cancelo of West Brom. So we could be in a position where I play 4-4-2 again. But we'll see. I think a lot's going to rest on who's fit for Villa, basically, and how they play with all this COVID stuff and non-training and stuff like that. Mavs Gaming, what's up? Son, Dallas, De Bruyne, Target -8. Like, Target. I'd rather have Dallas than Target. If Dallas to Target is not fun, like, I'd rather have Dallas with one game and a double coming than Target for a -4. So if you can do Son to De Bruyne, I would just do that. Joe, thanks very much. Our Villa play is safe for the double. As I said in the preview earlier, I would play them if I had them. I would not sell them. I probably wouldn't buy them either. other than that, we're probably not going to find out who's available or not before. I expect Dean Smith will ask questions. Yeah, we're back. We're happy to be back, etc. Not going to talk about who's available, etc., etc. If you want a true bench boost, wouldn't you play Bamford over Wood? Nah, I think 2 games will almost certainly trump 1. Yes, Bamford for that 1 game is probably better than either of Wood's games, but together, I think Wood's getting 4 points in the regardless. He's on penalties. His underlying numbers are usually pretty good. He's only scored 3 goals this season, but he's usually a 10-goal a season man. So I did think about playing Bamford, but I'm going to play Wood. I think that's what I would do. 2 games. Very rare that 1 game trumps 2, I think. Thoughts on Grealish to Souček from -4. Already have Sofa and Antonio. I don't like it that much. I think Souček's good, but I think we do not want Grealish long term. Obviously, there's some risk in keeping Grealish because he might not play, whatever. But I think he's been training. I think was he not posting pictures on Instagram? I saw someone say. I should really check that for myself. So I don't mind it, but you might regret it. Mikey, thanks very much. Kartik, good score for double game with wildcard and bench issues in 2 game weeks. I don't know. Let's wait and see. I mean, you can't just put a number on it because it depends what everyone else gets as well. Like if I only get 80, but everyone else gets 50, that's a good use of it, I think. And I'm set up for the long term as well. I think, like I said before, I didn't have any Man City players before this. They got really good fixtures coming up. Like, really good. Like, let's just remind ourselves how good they are. West Brom, Sheffield United, Burnley. Surely that's 3 clean sheets. When are they next not keeping a clean sheet? Liverpool, Spurs, probably. This gets tricky here. So, yeah, I mean, obviously I'd love 150 plus, but let's just wait and see what happens, you know? HA, Taylor and Balbuena and Rodrigo to Mitchell, Sofa and Antonio. Yeah, I quite like it. If you need to sell Taylor to fund it, then yeah, fine. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. I would just wait for anyone thinking about buying Antonio. Just wait and listen to what Moyes says, because there was kind of rumours that they've got some. I wouldn't say new guy, but they've got like a young kid who's been obviously training with them for a while. I think he's come up the ranks there. Who's apparently the rumours is going to make his debut. Now, debut doesn't mean start necessarily. But I'll just wait and see what Moyes says about Antonio, because he's only played 90 minutes like once in the last few weeks, so just wait and see. I would. Forza, Charlie Taylor, Bruce, Tomasi, Cresswell, Wilson from -12 and bench boost. I think bench boost like 16 plus points. You're already wiping 12 off of it. But Bruce to Wilson. I mean, yes, the players you're bringing in are better, but -12 for a bench boost, I'm not sure that's worth it, to be honest. Source 24, Johnson, Holding, Dawson and Smith Rowe worth bench boosting. I would bench boost that, yeah. I think Dawson's got really good fixtures. Alex MC, Son, Calvert-Lewin and Balbuena to De Bruyne, Antonio and Stones from Wednesday. Again, long-term moves, could be decent. And you're taking out 2 players that probably won't even play. Tierney and Son out for Salah and Zuma. Tierney and Son for Salah and Zuma. Yeah, I quite like that, even if it's for a -4. Joe Barnes, De Bruyne, triple captain or bench boost. Neto against West Brom, Dallas against Brighton, Meze against Brighton, McGoldrick versus Spurs. I'd probably bench boost. Again, depends how many chips you got. Maybe you'll be able to set it up later on in the season. You have to think about that, but I don't think that's a bad bench boost. McCarthy, Adams, Grealish, Dallas, good bench boost. Yeah, it looks good. Wait and see what Hasenhüttl says about McCarthy, I would. Just because he's back training, but let's see if he's available to play. Liam, how's it going? Going to do Calvert to Antonio and Son to De Bruyne this week for -4. Worth taking another hit from Man City defender. Maybe. Good long-term pick. Depends who you're taking out. But I like that. I like the transfers in general. Dallas Cancelo or Calvert to Antonio for -4. Probably out. Well, Calvert-Lewin's not playing, so probably him. Kushi Mitchell, you beauty. Yeah, 8 points. You jammy Mitchell owners. I want him back. Come on, United. That was a good result. Top of the league, 3 points. Loving it. Dudes. Wood, Rafinha and Dallas and Foden risky. It could be a good pack. I mean, it's like you said, it's risky, isn't it? I don't like that from minus. I think Leeds players are fine this week. I'd maybe just do like Wood to Antonio. Maybe Dallas to Cancelo if you can afford it. Rashford and Son, De Bruyne and Pulisic -8. No, don't. No, Rashford's got double game week. Son to De Bruyne maybe, but not the other one. Would I rather play Wilson or Rodrigo? I'd play Wilson. Double game week, I think. In most cases, I would play the double game week player. It doesn't always work out like that, but in most cases I would. Corey, what's going on? Should do Martinez, Tierney, Neto, Morpay, Maguire out. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 changes. Mendy, Diaz, Soto, Antonio, Robertson, Chilwell, minus 12. I can't even process that. There's so many transfers. I wouldn't take Maguire out. He's got a double game week, right? I think you can reduce. And Martinez has got a double game week as well. You need to reduce the amount of players you're taking out there. Tierney, Neto, Morpay, maybe. The rest, I wouldn't do it. I think you've really got to smash a minus 12 if you're also then taking out players that play twice, like Maguire, etc. Of course, he could get a yellow card against Liverpool, miss the second game, but he could also play both games and get like 8 to 10 points. Not in both games, but over both games. Watkins or Antonio? I think Antonio, if Moyes says he's fine. I think for Villa players, we need to wait and see what Dean Smith says. I don't think we're going to get much info though. Bench is Ryan. Ryan doesn't even play anymore. Mitchell, Rodrigo, Ogazi. Mitchell, Crystal Palace against Man City. Surely they concede. I don't know if I like that bench boost that much. It's not bad, but Ryan doesn't even play. Does start 11 matter when bench boost? No, of course not. But it's nice to have a realistic bench boost so you know how much it was worth. Like, if I put De Bruyne, Fernandes, Salah and Antonio on the bench, or whatever. Obviously, I can only put 3 outfielders. De Gea, De Bruyne and Fernandes and Salah on the bench. And I say, oh, look, I got like 60 points from it. That's obviously not realistic. Pick one, Cancelo, Chilwell, Stones, have DS, Cancelo. I mean, I like Chelsea players, Chelsea defenders, etc. But I think Man City are better for the long term. Chelsea's fixtures are quite good, actually. I just think Cancelo looks so good. Do hit that like button if you haven't already. Let's try and get to 1,000 before the end of the stream. And hit subscribe if you are new around here as well. Just do a quick shout out to all the patrons as well. Well over 200 patrons now. So if you want to sign up and join in, there is a link in the description below. And a big shout out to Larry L and Paul G, who have signed up since the last video. Since the video I did earlier, actually. Paul, I think I owe you an invite to Slack and stuff as well. So I'll try and get that done after the stream. Oh my god, it is so late, but 10 to 11. We're gonna pack up shop soon. Let's see if there's a few more questions we haven't already done. Almost at 1 million subs, almost, yeah. You never know, right? Charlie Taylor will play. I think he's hit or miss again. We're gonna have to wait and see what Sean Dyche says tomorrow. I don't think his press conference was today. Why did I pick Word? Because he's got 3 games and 2 game weeks. Literally the only reason. Literally. Had I known Wilson was going to have a double game, I probably would have picked him. But let's be honest, he hasn't done anything anyway, so don't feel that bad. Thomas, thanks very much. Is it okay to use no chips this week? Of course, it's okay to do whatever you want. Mo, thanks very much. It's taking a minus 12 for a whole double game week bench proof worth it. It would be tough to do that. Maybe if you're getting 4 double game weekers on the bench, potentially. But I think, again, people overhype how much the bench boost is worth in most cases. 16 to 20 points, probably a limit in most cases, to be completely honest. Why am I not getting Grealish in versus Newcastle at home? Because it cost me a minus 8 in total. Martin, Barnes or Maddison? I think Maddison right now. He should be fine, I think Rogers said. Pragash, can we rotate players after the first game of the double game week? Does bench boost work with wildcard? You can't wildcard and bench boost in the same game week. I don't get what you mean by can we rotate players after the first game. No, basically, no, you can't. Sorry, yeah, I know what you mean. Like, if I didn't bench boost, my bench would be my bench. You can't rotate it. You can't make any changes once the deadline's passed. Have 13 double game week players who are going to bench boost. One is Davis from Villa. I mean, that's basically 0 points. 2 at best, probably. Unless Watkins is injured or unfit. Thoughts on Sterling and Davis to Antonio and Pulisic Grealish for -4. Yeah, I quite like that. If you're just taking a -4 and you've not made any other transfers, I think that's decent. Plus, you get to have a little bit of a punt on Pulisic, maybe. So I quite like that. Ben, Bamford, Rafinha, Dallas, Johnson for bench boost. Bamford, yeah, definitely. My bench, Saka or Dyer. I mean, he should get a clean sheet, but I'd go for the attacker, I think, against Newcastle. Hope that Tierney is back so Saka can play further forward. Because once Maitland-Niles came off today, Saka got moved to left back. It wasn't that bad, but you want him further up, right? You definitely want him further up. Do I think Sterling's a good option for captain? I don't know if I would go there. The thing is, he's scored quite a few. He's got quite a few attack and returns recently, but just hasn't looked on it. And I don't even know if he'd start both games. I don't know. I think someone like Sterling, again, it depends how much of a risk taker you are. If you like that differential, upside pick, then he could be a good captain this week. But for me, if I had Sterling, I think just owning him would probably be enough. Triple captain De Bruyne or bench boost Meslier, Dallas, Taylor, and Ings. Well, Ings is out. I don't think he's going to be available, and Taylor might not be as well. So, in that case, I'd probably triple captain. Oh, you can't hear this music, can you? I'm a West Ham fan. Balbuena won't start. It will be Dawson. Apparently, Balbuena's been self-isolating. That's what's happened. Which is why he's not been playing. I don't know if that's completely true the whole time, but apparently he has been. So, yeah. Intriguing, that one. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it there because it's 5 to 11. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please do check out Patreon. Link in the description below. There'll be a Q&A over there tomorrow. Slack access if you want to join the community. WhatsApp access depending on which tier you sign up to. All that good stuff. So click that link in the description below. Please do give the video a like if you haven't already. That's always appreciated too. And hit that subscribe button if you're new around here. We're pushing for 1 million subs, so not far off now. Why not hit that? In terms of content, I have my team selection tomorrow. I'm going to have captaincy hopefully tomorrow as well. And then a deadline stream on Saturday too. So plenty more content to come. Vardy captain this week. I think there's better options personally. Kane and Grealish to De Bruyne and Antonio. Quite like. I don't know about getting rid of Grealish, but could pay off. Kane and A. B. Kane, Lookman to De Bruyne and Brewster. If you're not bench boosting, I'd probably prefer the second one instead of getting rid of Grealish. So yeah, I think. Do you think United can win on Sunday? Yes, definitely. Put Rashford up against Trent. Let's go. Let's go. So yeah, we will leave it there. Thanks for watching. Go and hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I will be back tomorrow for videos and Saturday for streams. And then, by the way, it's 10 days in between deadlines. So I don't know what videos we're going to do in between, but we will think of something. I've already got a few ideas. Maybe we just take a break for a week. That'd be nice too. But yeah, thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your evening, what's left of it. And I will see you again tomorrow.